2 Samuel 1. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Excuse me. Sorry about that. That's gross. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. And his son Yehoshua died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity more than 2,000 years ago. And the letter J is about 600 years old. Yah is a very jealous El, so jealous that he doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. And Yehoshua in English is Joshua. Just like, how David is David and Shaul is Saul. Like, it's like so easily recognizable between the two. I mean, there's some titles for some places where it sounds completely different, but for names of people's names, it seems to be very, very similar, which is another reason to always check the Bibles that you're reading from, because they're probably corrupt, like those ones that say Jesus, which is Greek for hill Zeus, and Christ, which is actually the Greek idol Christos, and the word Lord is Greek for Baal. So when you see Baal worship in the Bible, that's exactly what that is. God, G-O-D, was originally spelled G-A-D, which is a pagan idol. And they have a clan named after that in the Bible. God, G-A-D, with a line underneath of it. Yeah. Second Samuel 1. Oh yeah, in the name. Shemuel Bet. S-H-E-M-U apostrophe E with a half a check mark L, and then Bet is B-E with a half a check mark T. Shemuel Bet. 2 Samuel 1. And it came to be after the death of Shaul, S-H-A apostrophe U-L, when David, D-A-W-I-D with a line underneath of it, had returned from striking the Amalekites, A-M-A-L-E with a half a check mark Q-I-T-E-S, and David remained 2 days in Siklag, T-S-I-Q-L-A-G with a line on top of it. Excuse me. And it came to be on the third day that, see, a man came out of the camp from Shaul with his garments torn and dust on his head. And it came to be when he came to David that he fell to the ground and did obeisance, O-B-E-I-S-A-N-C-E. And David said to him, from where do you come? And he said to him, I have escaped from the camp of Israel, Y-I-S-R-A apostrophe E with a half a check mark L. Excuse me. And David said to him, what was the matter? Please inform me. And he said, the people have fled from the battle, and also many of the people have fallen and are dead. And Shaul and Jonathan, his son, are dead too. Jonathan is Y-E-H-O-N-A-T-H-A-N. And David said to the young man who informed him, how do you know that Shaul and Jonathan, his son, are dead? And the young man who informed him said, by chance, I was on Mount Gilboa, G-I-L-B-O-H, and saw Shaul leaning on his spear, and see, his chariots and horsemen followed after him. And when he looked behind him, he saw me and called to me, and I answered, here I am. And he said to me, who are you? So I answered him, I am an Amalekite. Excuse me. A-M-A-L-E with a half a check mark Q-I-T-E. And he said to me, please stand over me and put me to death, for agony has seized me, but my life is still in me. So I stood beside him and put him to death, for I knew he would not live after he had fallen. And I took the diadem, diadem, that was on his head, and the bracelet that was on his arm, and have brought them here to my master. Okay, so if you go back, um, Shaul told his armor bearer to kill him, and his armor bearer was too afraid to kill him, so he didn't kill him. And Shaul ended up killing himself, and then the armor bearer killed himself. This guy just came upon his body, took the stuff, made up a story. And David took hold of his garments and tore them, and also all the men who were with him, and they mourned and wept and fasted until evening for Shaul and Jonathan his son, and for the people of Yah, and for the house of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. Then David asked the young man who informed him, "Where are you from?" And he answered, "I am a son of a sojourner, an Amalekite." Sojourner is Sojourner. And David said to him, "How was it you were not afraid to stretch out your hand to destroy the anointed of Yah?" And David called one of the young men and said, "Draw near and fall on him." And he struck him so that he died. And David said to him, "Your blood is on your own head, for your own mouth has witnessed against you, saying, I myself have put to death the anointed of Yah." Then David lamented, Lamented, excuse me, with his lamentation over Shaul and over Jonathan his son, and he ordered the bow, in quotations, the bow, the being capitalized and bow being capitalized, to be taught to the children of Yehuda. See, it is written in the book of Yashar, Yashar, "The splendor of Israel is slain on your high places. How the mighty have fallen, declare it not in Gath, Gath. Proclaim it not in the streets of Ashkelon, Ashquelon. Lest the daughters of the Philistines rejoice." Philistines is Philistines. "Lest the daughters of the uncircumcised exalt, mountains of Gilboa. No dew or rain be upon you, nor fields of offsprings. For there the shield of the mighty lay rejected, the shield of Shaul not anointed with oil, from the blood of the slain, from the fat of the mighty. The bow of Jonathan did not turn back, and the sword of Shaul did not return empty. Shaul and Jonathan were beloved and pleasant in their lives." Okay, no, Shaul was not pleasant at all. Jonathan was pleasant. He's mourning Jonathan, and he's just putting Shaul in the mix because Shaul was anointed. And in their death they were not parted. They were swifter than eagles. They were stronger than lions. Daughters of Israel, weep over Shaul, who wrapped you in scarlet with finery, who decked your robes with ornaments of gold. How the mighty have fallen in the midst of the battle. Jonathan was slain in your high places. I am distressed for you, my brother Jonathan. You have been very pleasant to me. Your love to me was wondrous, surpassing the love of women. How the mighty have fallen, and the weapons of battle perish. Yeah, okay, so he is just, yeah. Because Shaul, all he tried to do was kill him, and all that, forgot his name already. All that David did was, he didn't even defend himself. He just, the first time he cut his garment, so he didn't even know, and then called out to him saying, "Hey man, I could have killed you and I didn't. Yah delivered you into my hand, and I chose to give you your life." twice. Because the second time he came into his camp and there was no one, everyone was asleep, and he took the guy's sword right from beside his head, or not his sword, sorry, his spear right beside his head, and the water jug, and walked away, and then called out to them again, like, "Hey, Yah delivered you into my hand again, and I didn't kill you." He knows not to kill the sovereign who is anointed by Yah. Well, I still would have put him to death anyways. I would have gotten some criminal to put him to death just so I can kill the criminal and no one suffers. None of the good people, anyways. Good people in the sense of you are following Yah and, yeah. Anyways.